the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
The NHT has boosted construction loan limits to 11 million for one applicant and up to 23 million for 3 co-applicants. We are building Jamaica.
The time by the office of the Prime Minister is...
It's 7 minutes after 9.
You're inside the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton.
Good morning to you. It is Monday. Thank God it's Monday. TGIM. It's Monday, September 29, 2025. September is almost to an end. We have one more day left in the greatest, most amazing, most fulfilling, most exciting month in the year. So much happens in September, and September brings so much life to our society. If you think about it, a lot of significant activities happen, a lot of significant events, things that we will always remember in history, including the 19th in that year, 1997, when one Nora Gay Banton was born. That faithful Friday evening, it was such a great day in our history. And so we must give thanks for the month of September. Right. So it's coming to an end, but don't worry, it will be back again next year. You don't worry. All right. Good morning to all of you. If you're listening on the 90 FM band, 90.3, 90.5, 90.7, or 90.9, thank you so much for joining us on your radio. We appreciate your company there. If you're listening and watching on our YouTube channel, good morning to you. The channel is Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. All right? So it's Nationwide 90 FM LIVE with a number 2, and ensure that you subscribe to the channel. I want to say good morning to those who are in the YouTube chat this morning. Rick NYCJM, first person I'm seeing in the chat this morning. David Nebar, top of the morning to you as well. Sonia Hutton, good morning. Chris Daly, good morning to you. Errol Townsend, Hugh Donaldson, King Doc 64, good morning. Rupert Wilson, Ines Campbell Murray, Maureen M, him personified, what's up? Good morning to ya. Karen Granville, Katie Buello, and all the others over there in the YouTube chat. SH Sylvia, big up on yourself. If you're listening from our mobile app, Revo News, available on the Google Play and the Apple App Store for free. Good morning to you. And those on our website, revonews.ai, morning to you as well. Thank you for making it Nationwide 90 FM. And I want to say a special good morning to all those who I met and greeted at I had the pleasure of being with Devon Missionary Church for their 150th anniversary banquet. And I want to say good morning to all those who are listening this morning. I don't want to call names but because I'm going to get in problem. But big up yourself, Elder Solomon and Elder Campbell, and all the others who were at the Devon Missionary Banquet. Big up on yourself. Everybody, top of the morning to you. It was such a great occasion, and I'm happy that I was able to be there. All right, it's a Monday morning. You know what time it is. It's time for Immigration Mondays. right, and if you are new to the program on a Monday morning, Inside Immigration Mondays, we're joined by U.S. Immigration Attorney Opal Lee and Canadian Immigration Consultant Nadine Mahabir. We use the first few minutes of the program to get an update on immigration-related matters in both countries, and then after that, we take your calls and your questions from the YouTube chat. Good morning to you, Opal. Good morning, Nadine.
Good morning, Nora.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Go ahead, Opal.
All right. Good morning, Nora. Good morning, Nadine. Good morning to our wonderful and loyal listeners and viewers. Happy Monday.
Hello. Good morning, Miss Nora, Miss Lee, and yes, hello to our listeners. Thank you for joining us.
All right.
And it's still summer in Canada, Nora. We're having great weather.
Oh, wow. Don't talk too soon now. Yeah.
Don't let it last.
But
like her.
But I'm very happy it's nice weather for you right now in Canada, because when it gets cold. So enjoy it, and I hope it lasts as long as possible for all of you over there in Canada.
Thanks, Nora.
All right, so we're gonna go into the updates now. We're gonna start with you, Opal, and then maybe we rejoin after the break with Nadine. Go ahead.
All right. Thanks, Nora. So last week we spoke about the new fee for the H-1B, which I think everybody understands that now, so I may not need to go back into that, but that's $100,000 that the Trump administration has now implemented, and that's for employers who should pay that monies because they want to make sure those same U.S. employers go ahead and hire U.S. citizens and permanent residents instead of getting foreign workers. So I won't talk about that too much. However, the news this week is that the number of detainees that has no criminal record has now exceeded the number of those detainees who actually have criminal records. So what is that telling us, people? Is that, as I've stated before all the time, is that not because you don't have a criminal record doesn't mean that you are safe. If you're here and you have overstayed your visa, or you entered unlawfully, you're still in danger of being detained. Prior, they weren't really doing this. They were going after people that had criminal records. Now you have more of those people in custody than those who actually have criminal record. I know there are people on the far right who will say, well, if you entered illegally in the first place, then that's a criminal act in their books. So they don't have any problem with the state of that record. But that's a recent update that this week it has now far exceeded that. But I'll take this opportunity as well, Nora, to explain something, or to maybe remind our listeners that even as a permanent resident, guys, you need to learn how to walk away. Even last week, I was I was so sad when family members have been trying me that their family members have been detained. I've been a permanent resident for 15 years. And, maybe had a battery, they got in a fight with somebody, and now they're taken to custody. And, of course, their family tried to bond them out. And that's another thing. It doesn't make any sense you bond somebody who is not a U.S. citizen, because even when you pay that bond, there's going to be an ICE hold. So you've wasted that money trying to bond a person, because ICE is going to detain them anyway and pick them up within 48 hours. So that's a lot I'm telling you guys today, but speak with an immigration attorney before you actually pay that bond. But going back to what I'm saying, Nora, they need to learn how to walk away. Sometimes temper flares. Somebody come up in your face and, they do something to you. Learn how to turn the cheek. I understand some people say, you're going to defend yourself and you're not going to take anything. I get it. But a lot of time, people, if it's just words, especially that they're talking or saying, Don't hit the person. Just walk away. You're not a U.S. citizen. I know U.S. citizens can do those things and get away with it, but you think about the bigger picture. Is it worth to fight back right now, knowing it's going to cost thousands of dollars in attorney's fees to try and get you bonded out, or to save you from being what you guys call deported? Is really removal. But let me use the word that you like, deported back to Jamaica, back to the Bahamas, back to Haiti, wherever it is. Is it worth it? Or just walk away, go in your house and scream and let it out?
It may sound, funny or but it's serious, especially with what's happening now, you just have to be as careful as you can be. You are literally on ice. And so, no pun intended, you just have to be careful. And for those who are in the US and, sitting there and not willing to go, I don't know why, we sit on the green card for how long and don't attempt to go and get citizenship, which would solidify your stay in the US. For those of you who are iffy or you don't want to start that process, maybe it's time to start thinking about that. And of course, seek advice from an attorney or someone who has great knowledge of what is happening on the immigration landscape now, especially now. Don't try to go and do things on your own. You might end up in problems. All right, we're gonna take a break. When we come back from the break, we'll hear the update from Canada from Nadine.
Decorate and redecorate your space with water-resistant, colorful, and fast-drying paints from Edgechem Paints. The time by Edgechem Paints, changing lives 1 gallon at a time, is
9:18.
Do it for your best life. Great. Go check your HIV status. Great. So keep your life trending, no pretending. Me I tell yourself it do it for you, do it for you. Every time you are link with a condom, coulda husband, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Condom connect and protect your profile. Be your own fan. Do it for your best life. Great. Do it for your best life. Great. Don't put yourself at risk. Condom connect every time. Do it for your best life.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I am Nora Gay Banton. It's Immigration Mondays, but just before we continue, happy birthday greetings going to the twin daughters of Mr. Desmond Brown, Sashan and Sashian Brown. In the US, and of course the birthday greetings coming from your dad Desmond Brown in St. Elizabeth. He's wishing you a great day and enough love, and he's also saying happy birthday to his friend Carbeth Wine, is that in the US? Enough love and respect. So birthday greetings from Mr. Desmond Brown going to his twin daughters and his friend. All right. So we're going back into the into Immigration Mondays, and we're going to get the update from Nadine out of Canada.
Thanks, Miss Nora. So Nora, when is your birthday, by the way? We're almost at the end of the month.
It was on the 19th.
Well,
Friday.
Yes. Birthday.
Thank
My
you.
sister's was the 21st.
Yeah, I'm sure she's a great woman.
She is. She's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes,
She's
indeed.
awesome.
September, yeah, man. It's a great month.
Okay. Now, for Canada, Nora, a couple of reminders. I want to talk about the parent sponsorship category this morning and the super visa. The parent sponsorship category, as you know, is not always open like our friends south of us in the US.
Right.
It only opens up at certain times, maybe once for the year, actually. And for this year, they're taking persons who have been in the pool from 2020. So a friendly reminder to anyone who submitted their information for their parents in 2020, please check your inbox and your spam folder to see if you did receive the invitation to apply. You have until October the 8th to submit your documents and your forms. Very important, you need to make sure that you meet the minimum income requirements. If the applicant or the person who is doing the sponsoring does not meet the income requirements, Nora, they can have their spouse, whether you're married or in a common law relationship, co-sign the application with you in order to meet the income requirements. So only your spouse, common law partner, or married partner can co-sign with you. Nor if the person is not able to sponsor their parent, then Immigration Canada implemented what is called a super visa a number of years ago. The super visa, it's similar to a visitor's visa in that it allows your parent to come to Canada and visit, but it allows them to stay for an extended period of time. Before it was 2 years, now they can stay up to a maximum of 5 years if they have a super visa. But with the super visa, the child in Canada needs to meet the income requirements, as well as the parent would also need to get health insurance to show that, yes, they're covered for whatever period of time they're going to be in Canada for, even at least, I think you can probably get it for 6 months or a year, and then you keep renewing it. So that was implemented because of the fact that the parent sponsorship category is not always open.
Right.
Thanks, Nora.
Thank you.
There's a lot more details, of course, on the super visa, but I'll stop there for now.
Okay. All right. No problem. Thank you so much, ladies, for the updates. We are now at the point in the program where we'll take your calls. So if you have any questions on immigration-related matters concerning the United States or Canada, then you can give us a call. The numbers to call 876-630-9371. There's also 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-8255. A question for you, Nadine, the parent sponsorship. Say, for example, a family, the child in the U.S. sponsors both parents to come up, right? In Canada, sorry, yes. Those parents have a dependent, a child. That child is, the age limit is 21? 22. That child goes up with the parents. That child is within the age limit, right? And goes up with the parents. Is there an avenue, say, for example, that child, even though we're saying child, is married? Is there any provision for the spouse of that child to go up with or for the child, the dependent to sponsor their spouse after they go up on that sponsorship?
Okay, so we're getting into a bit of technicality,
right
now.
Yes.
Because now you're talking about a dependent child, technically speaking, being married. So now the person in Canada would need to show they meet the income requirements. The spouse has to be declared. I've actually never had a situation like that, where you're sponsoring a dependent child that is married. I'd have to double check that for you, but I'm pretty sure they can be included. But again, the sponsor in Canada would need to show the income requirements.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that. We have a caller on the line, Ellsworth. Good morning.
Good morning, Noel.
Good morning.
I have a short request. I don't even know what it is. What I am noticing on social media is that persons are sending out a lot of false information as it relates to visa application, visas, taken back and people living in the U.S. Is there anything or law for such situation? Because it put a strain on your mental status in this country. I don't know for other people. But it does affect people. And when we check it out, nothing like that. Is there anything that the U.S. or the Jamaican consulate can do about this?
So you're asking about news online about visas being revoked for who?
For Jamaicans, and if you're living in there, you can't live in America, you can't come here.
So what category of Jamaicans? Jamaicans who are in the U.S. on a green card, citizens, what?
Green card.
Green card holders in the U.S. who come back to Jamaica for a visit or so. I see.
They're not supposed to leave within certain time, and they can't come back here. Or if they go back there, visa revoked. All these different types of things that are saying on, you know.
All right. So I'll just allow Opal to respond. All right. You can let us know.
Right, that's why, Nora, people must just be very careful. And you even have spoken about this before. Remember, for one time, we had a string of people saying one thing on that they saw on TikTok.
Yes.
And so people must be very careful about where they're getting information from. And I think you were the one who said last week that, the people who are given the accurate information, nobody goes to their page. I give accurate information. I don't have a lot of TikTok followers, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, the people who may be given false information, but I think people crave misinformation sometimes. I'm serious. I think maybe that is excited to them, and so
yeah, it spreads faster and easier, so more people see it. Yeah.
But caller, I mean, if you believe you've been a victim or you have suffered damages for what somebody says, there's avenues that you can take. Get an attorney.
Okay. I just need to encourage people to stop that, because it does not take one person. That's a lot. Numerous people, that can't be good.
Yeah, I would just encourage you though to go to reliable sources of information, credible sources of information. That's the news, traditional news media outlets. Those are usually credible sources of information. Official websites for embassies, governments are usually credible sources of information. Certified attorneys and consultants, those people are usually credible sources. You can Google these people and find them, and they may also have social media pages like Opal. Opal is on TikTok, Opal is on Instagram, and Opal makes videos about all of these things that are circulating online and gives credible information. So you can usually go to these sources.
To be frank, no, it doesn't affect me per se, but I have persons who are friends of mine and
Understood.
Be thinking about this. This is why I kept the concern to you guys.
Understood.
Because I'm old enough to know what a scam is,
Yeah.
And not everything that glitters is gold.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah. So just to all the others out there who may be worried, who may be seeing all the videos on TikTok and you're not sure, just find some reliable sources of information and stick to those. Don't doom scroll on TikTok and stress yourself out. All right.
All right, there. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for calling. We're up on a break. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. We're up on a break. We're going to take the break, and then when we come back, we have another caller on the line, and we have lots more questions on YouTube.
Spectrum Insurance Brokers provides quality insurance coverage and risk management services. The time by Spectrum Insurance Brokers Limited, setting the industry standards, is
9:31.
Ever wondered how to spot a scam before it drains your account? Or how Jamaica's top financial crime fighters track down the money? Join the Financial Investigations Division on Nationwide This Morning every first and third Friday at 8:20 a.m. for FID in Action, an informative, engaging feature designed to keep you and your money safe. Learn practical tips to help you spot, prevent, and report financial crimes. Understand how the FID protects the financial system. That's FID in Action, protecting you, preventing financial crime, on Nationwide This Morning every first and third Friday at 8:20 a.m. Brought to you by the Financial Investigations Division.
Good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Nora Gay Banton, and we're taking your calls inside Immigration Mondays this morning. We're joined by U.S. Immigration Attorney Opal Lee and Canadian Immigration Consultant Nadine Mahabir. If you have any visa-related question, immigration-related questions, work visa, anything like that, you can give us a call, find out about the different types of visa if you are interested and what you need to do. Give us a call. The numbers to call 876-630-9371, and that goes up to 4, and 618-8255. We have Patrick on the line. Good morning, Patrick.
This question is for the U.S. immigration person. My daughter is in the after H1 visa for teachers. The visa is currently up for renewal shortly. She has gotten married to a U.S. citizen. She also has a child who is a U.S. citizen. Can they go ahead and file for her just now, pending she's still the H1 visa and she's in the States?
Good morning, caller. Yes, she can actually go ahead and adjust to the spouse if she would rather, and she may get a green card even faster. But I think it's best she do a consultation as well.
Okay, so they could be able to file the I-130 at present.
Everything, the whole thing, if she's in the United States, she's married to a U.S. citizen, that U.S. citizen, they will be able to do the whole adjustment. So not just the I-130, because the I-130 does not give her the green card. She would also need to file the I-485, which is for the green card application, as well as the I-765 for the work permit, the affidavit of support, the I-864. It's a lot. That's what I'm saying. Maybe do a consultation. And see the best way to go. But the point is she needs to file everything, the whole package.
Okay, and it's best for the husband to file and not the daughter.
Well, the daughter is at least 21 years old and a U.S. citizen?
Yes, she's 21 years old and U.S. citizen.
Yeah, then yes, the daughter too. The daughter can file as well.
Okay, and this one would be best to file, the daughter or the husband.
Oh boy. All right, so here's the thing. With the husband, the husband can file, but it's just that they're going to question based on the marriage being bona fide. Is this, they're going to have to submit documents to show that they're living together, that they have marital properties, and what if anything happened and the husband, I'm not saying that relationship is rocky, but if they start having marital issues, that could be an issue, right, to think about. Whereas a child is your child, unless you're going to have a fallout with your child, a lot of people prefer their child file for them.
Okay, but she can start the process here now. Will she have to come back to Jamaica to obtain?
No, and that's what I'm saying. Do a consultation. She's in the U.S. lawfully, never intended to, do an immigrant, and now she's there. She can actually go ahead and do the green card there, adjust in her status in the U.S.
Okay, all right, thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, Patrick, thank you for calling. The beauty
of fortunate that lady.
The beauty of finding love,
Yeah. She has a spouse and a child.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
Love is such a beautiful thing. I tell you. All right, Dawn. Dawn is on the line. Good morning, Dawn.
Yeah, good morning. Can I speak to the U.S. immigration lawyer, please?
You can go right ahead.
Good morning.
Okay, good morning. I'm just asking just a few questions. My son filed for me last year, and he's in the Army. I got through, I was there on the H&B, but I had to come down just now to do my civil documents. I already did them and so forth. But what I really want to ask is the address that my son used when he's filing for me. When I get through to go up, do I have to go to that address?
No, you can change your address. You can change your address at any time. As a matter of fact, when you're entering as an immigrant, you can even tell them you're changing your address right at Customs and Border Patrol.
Okay, because
you don't have to live where your child lives.
Okay, what I was thinking, because I was working on the H2B, I did for 13 years, and I really love Massachusetts, but my son is not there, so I would love to live there, so I was just curious because it's a good thing that I call you because people were telling me all kind of things which I don't like people telling me anything.
Exactly. No, it's your son. You don't have to be with your son when he files for you.
Okay.
If it was your spouse, it would be a different story. I'm like, wait, why don't you want to live where your spouse is living? That will be different.
I'm going to go there, but where I work.
I understand.
So I just want to know that I don't have to go to that address. That would be okay.
No, you can change your address, ma'am.
Okay. When I'm going up and going through immigration?
You can do it there, or you can do it. I don't know if you did the DS-260 yet, but you could change that address there. Or before migrating, you could change your address. Or when you enter at the Customs and Border Patrol, you can change it there as well.
Okay.
Just before they mail out the green card. Because if not, they're going to, you might have some problem though, because they may still mail the green card to the address that they had them.
No, when I did the IV form, they asked me my mailing address. My mailing address is Massachusetts. That's where I've been for 13 years.
Okay, so you already have a different mail. Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Then no problem. Then you're okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a great day.
You're very welcome. You too.
All right, Dawn, thank you so much for calling. Let's now go to some questions online. First question, this one, say for Nadine. Someone is asking if having a U.S. visa can help your chances of getting a Canadian visa.
Well, it depends on your travel pattern as well. So it depends on how many times have you traveled to the U.S., how long did you stay? But remember, for a Canadian visa, you're doing your application online, and you're submitting all of your supporting documents. So job letters, bank statement, property documents. You don't get a chance to go in front of a visa officer and answer any questions, unless, of course, an interview is requested, which is very rare. So you want to ensure that when you put together your Canadian visitor's visa application, you are submitting as much supporting documents as possible, including the pages of your passport that shows your visa, and I would say include the pages with the immigration stamps as well. If you know you have never stayed for a long period of time, I would recommend, even if you make a list of your travel dates, to show that it has only been short trips to the U.S. I hope that helps, Nora.
All right. Thank you so much, Nadine. Here's one for you from YouTube, Opal. Rick is asking, where are they now with sibling filing? It says filed in February 2014.
Okay, so right now they're actually at January 8th, 2008.
Oh.
So about 6 years? If they're 14, so yeah, about 6 more years or so.
Alrighty. Yeah. 6 more years, Rick. 6 more years. All right. Here's another one from YouTube. Okay, it says I did 3.5 months on my U.S. visa, U.S. tourist visa. Okay, so I'm assuming this person is saying they traveled for 3.5 months on their tourist visa, asking if when they attempt to renew or apply again, if they'll get it.
It all depends on the reason, right? Your employer gave you 3.5 months away. Are you self-employed? Are you working with someone? And more importantly, what were you doing for 3.5 months? Did you have so much money that you need to do a lot of vacation? It all depends, Nora. But that is a red flag when you spend more than, a few weeks on vacation.
All right.
But it's better than spending 5 months. So I guess you should be happy it's only 3.5.
I guess. This person is asking, this says, I would like to know if I can file for my husband even though I am not employed.
Is that for the U.S.?
I didn't say. I assumed it was for the U.S., but let's just I'm gonna ask both of you to respond just in case.
Right. If it's for the U.S., yes, your husband, you can still file for your husband, even if you're on welfare, if you're unemployed, doesn't matter, because you just need a joint sponsor who has the requisite income. And let me tell you, even if you as a petitioner, your income is zero, you still have to complete the I-864 because it's still going to ask you for your income for your last 3 years, and if you file taxes, so you still have to complete one. However, the joint sponsor will also need to complete an I-864, and the joint sponsor needs to be either a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident, and does not even need to be, it doesn't have to be, the person doesn't have to be related to you. But as long as that person has the income to show and has the has the tax returns and pay stubs, then that's fine.
Okay, and for Canada, Nora, so there's a few similarities, but there's also some differences. For example, if you are on social assistance, you're not able to sponsor your spouse or dependent child. However, you do not need to show a minimum income to sponsor your child or spouse. For your parents, yes, you do. But to sponsor a spouse or dependent child, you do not need to show a minimum income. And therefore, you would not need a co-signer. But again, if you're on social assistance for reasons other than disability, you also cannot sponsor. And for Canada, when you're sponsoring your spouse, that application can include their dependent children, and they would also be getting through at the same time if you chose to have them as accompanying you.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much, ladies. Before we go to the break, I'm going to allow you to give your contact information for those who may be waiting for that. Opal and then Nadine.
Thank you, Nora. So for Opal Lee, the phone number in Jamaica is 876-854-3599. That's 876-854-3599. In the United States, it's 954-358-2020. That's 954-358-2020. You may find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook at FlowJam Legal. That's FLOJAMLEGAL. Over to you, Nadine.
Thanks, Opal. And guys, you need to go follow Opal on TikTok and Instagram and all of these thingies. And I need to be like her when I grow up. My contact numbers in Jamaica, it is 876-754-4391. That's 876-754-4391. In Canada, it is 416-249-5885. That's 416-249-5885. My email address is info@cdnintl.com. Thanks, Miss Nora.
All right. Thank you, ladies. We take a break, and when we come back, we take more of your calls and your questions from YouTube.
Fill all your prescriptions. Get cosmetics and other pharmaceutical items at Mannings Hill Pharmacy, located at 34A Mannings Hill Road, Kingston. Telephone 924-6280. At Mannings Hill Pharmacy, they stock all the hard-to-get medication. The time by Mannings Hill Pharmacy is
9:45.
Now, PrEP makes it so easy. One pill before you link, prevent HIV.
PrEP makes it so easy. One pill before you link, prevent HIV.
You want to do your thing with your queen or your king.
Or I get a little frisky that make you flex risky.
PrEP, are you extra bucketed?
To help you stay HIV negative.
PrEP makes it so easy. One pill before you link, prevent HIV.
PrEP tablets available at your clinic from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Nora Gay Banton. It's Immigration Mondays, and we're joined by U.S. Immigration Attorney Opal Lee and Canadian Immigration Consultant Nadine Mahabir. And we are taking your calls and your questions from the YouTube chat. So if you have any immigration-related matters you want an answer to, you can give us a call or leave your question in the YouTube chat. And on that note, we're jumping right back to the phone lines. Errol, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, I'd like to speak to Ms. Opal Lee.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, I have been contacted by the NVC in December last year, and I've submitted all the documents. Question is, how long after such submission will they be contacting me? I'm kind of concerned about the police record, which only lasts for 1 year.
Right. All right. So did you get notification that you have been documentarily qualified?
Yes.
Okay. So usually it takes a few, maybe 6 months or more, or could even be a year, but it's not uncommon for by the time you get an interview for the police record to be expired, and so you might need to get another one. But I mean, if you did it December last year, let's keep your fingers crossed that you get an interview before December of this year.
Okay.
But there's nothing to do to rush it or anything. They just have to, and also depends on who's filing for you. I don't know if it's your spouse, your child, your sibling, your parent. Who's filing for you?
My mother.
Your mother?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's normally on, on the lower scale. I mean, normally if your spouse is filing for you, it's a little bit more faster. But just have to sit tight and just wait. And if you're not married, are you married or single?
Yes, I'm married.
Okay, all right. So that means it took a very long time for you to get to this point.
Yes.
Okay. All right, but there's no, it could even be a year, to be honest. And so, as I said before, it's not uncommon for the police report to expire.
All right, thank you.
All right, Errol, thank you so much for calling. Just before we go back to the phone lines, one question from online here. Someone is asking if it is possible to still get a Canadian visa if you have a conviction in the United States.
Hi, good morning. Yes, you do. Now, you probably were not with us last week, but if you do have a record in the U.S., then one of the things that you would need to do when you're applying for a visa for Canada is you'd have to do an application for rehabilitation. So the first thing is you would need to ensure that, yes, you do meet the required time period to qualify for rehabilitation. And when you do your application for rehabilitation, then you're also doing your application for your visitor's visa, or what is called a temporary resident permit, because technically speaking, you're now inadmissible to Canada. So you have to ask for Immigration Canada to allow you into Canada based on these two applications that you're doing. So you have to do not only the temporary visa application, but also your application for rehabilitation.
All right. Thank you so much for that. We have another caller on the line. Alex, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
Morning, Alex.
Yeah, my question is, I tried twice, U.S. I tried twice for the American visa when I was a college student and as a worker. I was denied. I was wondering, my third attempt, should I get an immigration lawyer or?
Or someone tell you to get me to do it. Absolutely. But no, am I going to tell you I'm going to guarantee it? No. As a matter of fact, no attorney or consultant or anyone can guarantee that you will be approved. But what I know is that when you come to our office, we will look at your case carefully and I will give you suggestions and see what I believe you might need to improve on, because it all depends on how well you're able to show your ties to Jamaica. I don't know how long you've been in that job. I don't know what your income is. Also depends as well if you have family members overseas that they may think you might be, if they give you this visa, you might be going to run off with them. It's so many things to be considered. Maybe you're not doing something correctly on the application. So at least do a consultation so we could at least see. But no, going to an attorney is not going to guarantee that you're going to be approved. But it will be guaranteed that it will be done properly.
All right, thanks much.
You're welcome.
All right, here's another one. If you were involuntarily removed, can you reapply to the U.S.?
Absolutely, and that's one of the benefits of taking involuntary remove. That means the person was deported. Right. So whether you were removed or whether you take voluntary departure, or whether you were forcibly removed, yes, you can always reapply, but it all depends on your situation, depends on your ties to your home country and to the U.S., depends on if you're trying to file to migrate to the United States, it depends on your job, it depends on so many things, it depends on why you were removed in the first place. Was it for a criminal matter? How serious was that criminal matter? Lots of questions. So to be honest, Nora, for these things, a consultation is going to be required.
All right. Let's see if we can get through some of these questions online before we have to go. This one says, my niece, who is a permanent resident in the U.S., filed for her 4-year-old son in May 2024. Where are they now?
Very close. That's one of the categories that has jumped because the last time they were like in 2023 or early 2023. Now they've moved to February 1st, 2024. And so what month in 2024 did she say she started the filing?
May.
Or May? All right, so they're only at February. So March, April, what, 3-4 months maybe out?
All right. Here's a... All right. So soon. That's a pretty close one. Not like, the sibling filing where, they're only at 2008. This one says, if an American citizen marries a Jamaican man who is living in America, how long will it take for him to get his green card or any work permit?
Well, it depends on how that Jamaican man got to the United States in the first place. Was it a visa? Did they come in with somebody else's name? Did they come into the border without inspection? So it all depends. If the person entered with a visa and like a B1, B2, for example, they could do a whole adjustment. He should be able to get a work permit within about 3 or 4 months, could be sooner. And then the green card itself, an interview might be scheduled in about maybe a year and a half or so.
All right. Here is another one. It says, my cousin's dad died while petitioning for her. Am I able to continue the petition?
Right,
this
not
person,
for cousins, but that person needs to do a consultation because it will see if there are other family members that, does the person have a sister, brother, maybe the other parent, a grandparent, who could step in place and continue the fight.
All right. So, Ms., you can call Opal and see if you can book a consultation. Find out more information there. Nadine, this one says, can a Jamaican on a J1 visa in the U.S. receive a Canadian visa?
I'm assuming they're talking about a visitor's visa. Yes, they can apply for a visitor's visa. Again, I'm not sure how long the J1 visa is valid for, but you want to ensure that you apply for the visitor's visa, I'm going to say at least a good few months before your current status in the U.S. expires.
All right. Here's another one for you, Nadine. Can a green card, U.S. green card holder apply for a Canadian visa?
They don't need a visa. A U.S. green card holder does not need a visitor's visa.
For Canada, no.
Right. U.S. citizens or green card holders do not need a Canadian visitor's visa.
All right. Here's another one. My son lives in Canada and wants me to visit. What do I need?
I'm not sure how old this person is, but you're going to need to show your ties to Jamaica. So if you're currently working, job letter, bank statement, property documents, motor vehicle documents. If you're married or in a common law relationship, I normally recommend the same documents for your spouse. Then you would need an invitation letter from your son, his job letter. If he is going to be paying for your trip, then I would recommend including his bank statement as well. And of course, you're including your bank statements and investments in Jamaica. Because not because your son is in Canada doesn't mean you're going to automatically get a Canadian visa. You still need to show your ties to Jamaica.
All right. Thank you so much, Nadine. And I believe that's all the time we have for the questions this morning. Gonna allow you ladies to give your contact information before we go. Nadine and then Opal.
Thanks, Nora. For Nadine Mahabir, our contact number in Jamaica, it is 876-754-4391. That's 876-754-4391. In Canada, it is 1-416-249-5885. That's 1-416-249-5885. Our email address is info@cdnintl.com. Have a great week, everyone. Over to you, Ms. Lee.
Thank you, Nadine. For Opal Lee, the phone number in Jamaica is 876-854-3599. That's 876-854-3599. In the United States, it's 954-358-2020. That's 954-358-2020. Our website is www.flowjamlegal.com. That's FLOJAMLEGAL.com. And of course, you can find us on all social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, same thing, at Flowjam Legal. Have a great week, everyone, and productive one as well. And over to you, Nora.
Thank you so much, ladies. Enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week. See you next week, Monday. That's all the time we have for the Consumer Hour and Immigration Mondays this morning. We're going to make way now for Cliff Hughes Online.
That was the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton.
Informative, educational, insightful. Let's talk justice. Tackling topics like constitutional rights and reform, domestic violence, and rights issues that affect you. Let's talk justice every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. Call in, share your thoughts.